Hello, Meoni here, and this video is basically a predictions video. Liveletter Part 87 airs this Friday, the 20th of June at midday 12 PM British Standard Time, which is, 4 AM PDT for our American viewers. This then should be a fairly sizable patch, but obviously we can get some good ideas for what to predict if we look at the previous expansion, as well as some other theories as well, considering we're out of the pandemic situation for the most part. So first of all, it's a no-brainer. There's going to be new MSQ. That's obviously going to happen, obviously pushing that narrative further forward. Hopefully it gets interesting. There should be a new dungeon as well as a new trial associated with that. And yeah, so that should be in the patch for certain. It will also definitely be the next Alliance raid part, the second part of the Final Fantasy XI Vanadil storyline. As to where that could take place, I have no idea. Juno was definitely a surprise to me, and I cannot wait to see what they're cooking up. A lot of people are looking forward to more Final Fantasy XI, myself included. This also means that a new coin should be available from this new Alliance raid that you can get once per week from that, and should give us the currency needed to exchange for upgraded materials for our tome gear. So if you're still working on your tome gear, or some of it might be best in slot upgraded, this is another way of getting those materials in 7.3. Additionally, there will probably be a new custom delivery client. If we look at the past, 0.3 patches usually sort of gravitate towards a new custom delivery client. It could be anybody, quite honestly, and obviously there'll be crafters and gatherers. Who knows who that will be? Hopefully someone exciting, and hopefully we can have the dress-up minigame at the end of it as well. Additionally, in 7.3, I'm hoping that a new treasure hunt map will be added. In 6.3, in the previous expansion, we had the shifting gymnasium Agonon with the spinny circle, so you would click a button, you would spin it, and I would like that to return, and it's a perfect fit for the new treasure dungeon type. They just have to obviously reuse that. They've done that a couple of times, and it seems to gravitate towards a 0.3 patch historically, so it's pretty likely we might get one. And obviously with that comes new glamour and rewards, very cool stuff. Additionally, there'll probably be new dive points for submersibles and likely new ranks for those. Obviously, there'll be new furnishings, some likely from the furnishing design contest winners or runners-up from the past. Perhaps something for the Gold Saucer. We have plenty of MGP, especially after the most recent Make It Rain event, and it would be nice to see new additions to sink some MGP into. Last time in 6.3, for comparison, that's when they first added the Blackjack airship mount. So hopefully we can get something big and juicy and a new mount from that. That would be nice. Give us something to spend MGP on, because quite honestly, I've been at cap for quite a long time now. Maybe we'll get some new hairstyles. In 6.3, they added new hairstyles for Hrothgar and Viera. I think we're nearly at a point where Viera and Hrothgar can wear all of the hairstyles, maybe. There might be one or two, but it'd be nice to see some long hairstyles. That'll probably never happen, though. It's likely we'll probably get some new emote or emotes in this patch. Additionally, then, we'll likely see some information on new features to cosmic exploration, probably based on feedback. They should at least be able to tell us or show us a concept image of the next planet we will visit, somewhere in the 7.3 series, probably 7.35. As noted in the 86th live letter, was this slide confirming as much. So it's likely they will talk about the cosmic exploration, potential changes, and hopefully a sneak peek at the next one. This will also obviously include the new cosmic tool step for your crafters and gatherers. A lot of people were not too keen on the first step, as I noticed from feedback in the video where I showcased them all, and from the completion on the moon. So hopefully this next step goes a little wild and a little alien, I'm hoping personally, but we will see. It is only going to be the second planet out of apparently 4, so it probably means we're going to have a nice big awesome glowy stage at the end, but that's like the end of the expansion, a long time away. Obviously no footage is usually shown in part 1 of a 2-part live letter series looking at a patch, but images and concept art will very likely be there, confidential art and stuff like that. Hopefully we get some new news about the new deep dungeon, also rumored to be in the 7.3 series, probably 7.35 as well, which I think honestly is the content I'm most looking forward to. I can only imagine where they could do a deep dungeon, and every time I try to predict these things, I'm wrong. Like with the previous one with Eureka Orthos, I could have never have predicted we'd be going to Mordona again, like not in a million years. So they could basically do it anywhere. It doesn't have to be related to Dawntrail, thankfully. It could be anywhere in the game. There could also be more Hildebrand in 7.3 series. It seems like a good place for it. Hopefully a little bit more engaging this time. I used to love their trials for Hildebrand. We usually get that, you know, towards 7.4, the 0.4 series, towards the end of the expansion. But it'd be nice to see more Hildy. Personally, we probably won't see any, but that's my hope. And they could also drop a new variant or Criterion dungeon for the 7.3 series. Although I wouldn't be surprised if this was kept for the 7.4 series. But saying that, if we look at 7.4, it's likely the next part of Occult Crescent is included in that. And considering how light 7.3 would look otherwise, it would make more sense to add a new variant and Criterion dungeon in the 7.3 series. Hopefully with better rewards for Criterion and Criterion Savage this time. That would be nice to engage more people in the content, because I don't think they've done enough to engage people with the previous set. I think most people would probably agree with that. Will they deliver a second ultimate for Dawntrail? That is the big question for the 7.3 series. That is the question. One, I think a good portion of people are hoping for. Fingers crossed then that they announce a new one, and I kind of hope it's good. I don't know where it could be based. They seem to be hopping around quite a bit. I've heard some good things about, obviously, you know, Fru. So I would like to see something along those lines. I think that's a good step forward. I personally can't wait to get back into Fru. I need to find a new group for that, though. Remember, there is no Savage tier added in a 0.3 patch, so, you know, the new Savage tier won't be until 7.4 in the Arcadian. So they kind of have to, in my opinion, add something to keep high-end players, you know, actually engaged with the game, because a lot of people have dropped off, quite honestly. Occult Crescent hasn't been enough with Fork Tower to encourage more people to stay around. And yeah, I think an ultimate drop would be kind of suited to this. I think a lot of people are hoping that the second ultimate will be in this patch, and so do I. I really hope that you get that too. Apart from that, I don't know. Maybe they might talk about a chaotic alliance raids are quite interesting. They had mixed reviews. I personally loved the chaotic Cloud of Darkness fight. I know a lot of people did not. I would like to see how they're going to approach that content in the future, if they're going to do just one of them in an expansion, or if they're planning to do multiple. It's very likely we won't hear anything about chaotic, but I would like to have something. And then, of course, the big elephant in the room, Beastmaster. Will they talk about it? Or is that going to be a 7.4 thing? Like, it just seems very strange. We still have yet to get any Blue Mage information. We still have got no information on Beastmaster, if it even exists. Yeah, I think a lot of people are like, where is Beastmaster? What is Beastmaster gonna be? What content are you designing? So this is a perfect sort of patch, since there's no Savage Raid, for people to have stuff to do. And I think that would fit quite nicely. It's not too cramped. And, you know, a major patch like 7.4 probably wouldn't be best suited to it. I don't know. Maybe. I live in hope that we get at least a sniff of information for Beastmaster, but again, I know as much as you. It's going to be interesting. But that's pretty much my predictions. They're pretty straightforward, like based on historical information and some hopes. If you were to choose a place for the next deep dungeon, where would you choose? I'd like to see your comment. And also, if you want a new ultimate, what would you base it on? There's been a lot of really interesting speculation so far. I'm interested to see what my viewers come up with. Let me know below, and if you're excited for the live letter. If you're not around, I will be able to do my usual summary. That's midday for me, so I'll be around, and then it'll be no less than an hour later than the actual live letter, as soon as I can, and I'll do the usual summary. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you then, and bye-bye.